Well, today we will have the war of the blueberry muffins. Can a diabetic eat a blueberry muffin or two and still keep his blood sugar under control? Now, I'm not talking about some terrible, nasty tasting muffin that just tastes like straw, but a really good one. Watch and see. Well, welcome to Beat Diabetes. I'm so happy you decided to join us today, and I have my lovely assistant and wife with me, whose name is Benedicta. Welcome to Beat Diabetes, my love.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
It's always a pleasure for me to have my lovely lady beside me. You just give me freedom. I'm much more free when I'm with you than I am when I'm just by myself.
I am free, and freedom follows me anywhere I go.
There you go.
Yep.
So we're going to start out by talking about the Equal Rights Amendment. Now, this was a big deal in America back in the early 70s. It was connected with women, the idea of women having the same rights as men. I would suppose.
The same right to cook whatever we want or what?
Well, this was more like equal wages. Let me give you an example. We've seen the movie Gone with the Wind. You recall that movie?
Yeah.
And it had two main stars. One was Vivian Leigh, who played Scarlett O'Hara, and then the other was Clark Gable, who played Rhett Butler. Do you know that when they made that movie, Vivian Leigh was like the star of the movie, right?
Star.
And Clark was a close second. But Vivian Leigh made far more, spent more days recording and filming, and she put in a lot more work than Rhett did because she was in the movie constantly from start to finish.
Okay.
But Vivian Leigh got paid $25,000 for that movie. Clark Gable, who was in the movie less, got paid $125,000.
Oh.
Does that seem right?
No, not really.
So, yeah, there were problems that needed to be addressed. Those pretty much have been addressed, even though the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment, didn't pass.
Yeah.
And there would have been possibly some issues with that, such as, does that mean women have to be drafted? And we could get into that. But this is not about politics.
Right.
But here's why I brought that up.
Okay.
When people started...
I was wondering what politics got to do with this muffins.
If you follow me around long enough, you'll see there's a rhyme and a reason to all of it. When the keto movement got big, the keto people didn't like the fact that they couldn't eat bread, they couldn't eat pancakes, they couldn't eat muffins, they couldn't have blueberry muffins. There was just so much they could not have. And they began demanding equal rights for keto people. We want our rights. We want our right to have pancakes. We want our right to have blueberry muffins.
Okay.
Well, some smart people got together and started fiddling with recipes and trying to figure out ways to do that.
Okay.
And one of the early contenders and candidates to give rights along those lines to be able to eat bread-type products and stay keto or stay low-carb was the product soy.
Soy.
And we mentioned George Stella a while back. George Stella had a lot of recipes that had soy in it. And in my first days, really my first 15 years, I would have pancakes regularly made with soy flour. I would have blueberry muffins regularly made with soy flour, and they were good. They tasted very nice. But
I remember making a whole lot of pancake for you, especially on Saturdays with, soy.
It was our theology that pancakes must be made on Saturday, right?
I thought that regime would never go away, but thank God it's all up in there, out of the way.
Well, the thing of it is, soy's gotten a bad reputation these days. They say it causes problems with hormone levels. They even say that it gives men man boobs.
Okay, don't go there.
But I have to announce. I have to announce publicly that I ate soy for 15 years. I never got man boobs. In fact, I could take off my shirt and show them. But
please don't. Do we have to call a doctor to come and examine you privately?
I don't want to gross anybody out to see this old body. But just take my word for it, or take my wife's word for it. I don't have man boobs.
No, you don't have man boobs.
So sometimes people will act like, oh, if you eat this, it'll kill you. By tomorrow, you'll be dead, or it will give you this terrible thing. And It's not always true, and I always take things with a grain of salt. I'm a little skeptical, but anyway, soy became out of favor. You don't see it on the grocery store as much shelves. So finally, I kind of got with it. I thought, all right, I mingle with keto people. I have a program that keto people watch.
Right.
I don't want to get 1,000 comments about how terrible soy is, so let's just try some other stuff.
Okay.
So to make bread-type products such as pancakes, such as muffins that are not bad, a lot of the experts came up with these two flours.
Almond flour
and coconut flour.
Okay.
Now, why are they replacing white flour? Can you guess why we might choose these over white flour?
I think for health purposes, this will be better than ordinary white flour, especially for diabetics people. Yeah.
They have less carbs. Now, a regular white flour is going to have 23 grams of carbs per 30 grams of flour.
Right.
23 grams of net carbs. The coconut flour, that's the almond, the coconut flour has only 8 grams of net carbs per 30 grams, same amount of flour.
Okay.
But if you want the best bargain of all, it's the almond flour, which has only 2 grams of net carbs per 30 grams of flour. The almond flour, in a way, it's hardly flour.
Yeah.
Because it's ground up nuts. They call it finely blanched or superfine blanched. So it's made into a sort of a flour, but not a flour as we know it. But here's the deal. You go, the average the regular blueberry muffin, the kind you might buy at the deli, at your grocery store, or you might buy a Betty Crocker mix, or there's all kinds of ways of getting blueberry muffins.
Okay.
A small one will have around 30 grams of carbs.
Okay.
A big one could have as much as 60 grams of carbs. You know those monster ones you sometimes see at the deli section?
Yeah.
They can have 50 or 60. That's like 2 candy bars worth of sugar or carbs in that muffin. There's 2 problems with the typical blueberry muffin. Can you guess what they are?
Well, number one, they put a lot of white flour in there, and then the second one is a lot of sugar. There is a lot of sugar in it, so they mix everything together, and then you have it.
Yeah. So basically, white flour that's going to turn into sugar the minute it hits your stomach.
See?
And then sugar, which is already sugar.
Already sugar.
So it's a double whammy.
Double sugar.
It's just not good.
Everything not double.
Now, Nigerian song. Okay. So if someone came along and said, which one do you think is better, this big whopping blueberry muffin or these 2 candy bars? Most people would say the muffin, right? Seems like a healthy thing. You have a little coffee in the morning. You have your muffin, feel so strong and healthy. You're ready to climb a mountain.
Move.
But that muffin is equivalent to about 2 candy bars. If it's a big one. Now, if it's a small one, it'd be 1 candy bar.
Okay.
But you're getting a lot of carbs. You're getting a lot of sugar, white flour. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Okay. What is it?
Nasty, nasty, and more nasty.
Nasty, nasty, and double nasty. Get it out of the way. Mm-hmm. So the experts have come together. They figured some things out. They said, how about the almond flour? How about the coconut flour?
Right.
So here's another question for you. Let's say you're shopping at the store, a clothing store. Now, you love clothing stores.
I love it.
All right. So you see a dress, costs $60.
$60.
You say to yourself, that's a little bit high. I didn't really want to spend that much. So you're kind of debating 60. I don't know if I really want to spend that much.
Well, it depends on the type of clothes because most clothes are more expensive than that.
Well, you're right. But 60 is a good number to divide. So,
okay.
So you're looking at the $60 dress. You're saying, yeah, it's pretty, but I don't know if I really want to spend that much. And suddenly a sales employee comes along and puts a big sale tag on that dress you're looking at.
Okay.
And now it's marked $22.95.
I grab it.
Suddenly you're not debating anymore.
No, not looking at it anymore. I'm like,
you grab it. But before you can get to the checkout counter, another sales employee comes along and puts another sticker on the thing while it's right in there in your hand. And now it's marked sale $9.95. What do you think about that?
Oh, that would be a good bargain.
Exactly. So when it comes to muffins, the regular muffin, out of the question. Okay. Way too high in carbs.
Get it out of there.
It's just nothing but trouble for the diabetic.
Trouble, I tell you.
It's the $60 dress.
$60 dress.
But the coconut flour...
Is it $9.99?
No. Coconut is the $22.95 version.
$22.95 version.
Same dress or almost as good, but it's marked way down.
Yep.
But the almond flour is the $9.99 version.
$9.99.
I mean, it's marked even down lower because it has the fewest carbs. So
you will make a great sales boy. Do I have to get you another job, like a salesperson job?
So let me, I'm a preacher, so I love to use illustrations. We preachers, we always use illustrations.
He got out of it.
So let me give you another illustration. Sweetie, let's just say somebody knocks on our door or rings the doorbell. Mm-hmm. I open the door. This fast-talking salesman comes along. He's got a Rolls Royce out in our driveway.
Okay.
He says, I need to sell this in a hurry.
Beautiful car.
Beautiful car. Very expensive luxury car. He says, I need to sell this in a hurry. Okay. And I've marked it down to $299,999.95. It's yours. Just give me the $299,999 and you can start driving it. Now, you know me pretty well.
Right.
We've been married for quite a few years.
Right.
What would you guess I would say to that guy who's offering me a Rolls Royce for just under $300,000? What would I tell him?
Well, you will be like, thanks, I'm not interested.
Right. I would not. I would say something like, I don't need it, I don't want it, and I can't afford it.
I don't need it. I don't want it. I can't afford it.
I don't need it. I don't want it. I can't afford it. Now, that's what...
It's a pretty car.
That's... Yes, it is. That's what diabetics need to say about things like blueberry muffins and big chunks of bread and big fat white potatoes and so many things.
Right.
I don't need it. I don't want it. I can't afford it.
Okay.
And if you can't say the middle one, you say, well, I do want it. Then just say, I don't need it, I can't afford it, and leave off the I don't want it. But to me, I've gotten past that to the point, I don't even want that junk. For today, we wanted to compare 4 different types of low-carb or keto blueberry muffins. This will not be a blood sugar test. They're all low enough in carbs that we didn't see them as a potential blood sugar spiker. You can and should, however, test yourself after eating any of these to see their effect on you. Earlier in the week, I had made blueberry muffins using Carbquick flour. Last night, I made blueberry muffins using an almond flour recipe. Today, Benedicta made blueberry muffins by altering the recipe to include about half coconut flour and half almond flour. And then for a 4th type of blueberry muffin, we made a muffin in a mug and added blueberries to it. After baking our muffins, we came back to the studio to give them a taste test. We are back, and what do we have here, my love?
A lot of muffins, different types of muffins.
A lot of muffins.
Ways.
All blueberry muffins.
All blueberries.
I would call them this a blueberry muffin extravaganza.
Right.
So we're going to have a little blueberry muffin taste test.
Test.
When they do wine, they will take a piece of, they will take a glass of wine.
Glass of wine.
They'll kind of shake it around. Do you think we need to do that with these muffins?
No, we don't need to do that.
They'll take a sniff of it.
They'll sniff.
And then shake it around some more. Then they'll drink it and they'll, a little bit on the dry side or a little bit on the wet side or whatever.
You've been watching a lot of movies. That's only in the movies they do all that.
So at any rate, we're going to go one after another. Carbquick muffin, almond flour muffin, half almond flour and half coconut flour. And this is the same thing except it's made in a microwave. This is made in an oven. This is made in a microwave. So take half. Okay.
It's really good.
Not bad. On to number 2.
Number 2.
This is pretty much fully almond flour with a few other ingredients, but the flour is almond flour. So you can put some butter on that one.
Okay.
Now remember how you liked each one so you can evaluate them at the end. Number 3. This is about half and half, maybe slightly more almond flour than coconut, but almost half and half.
Oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
This one and the first one, they're my favorite now.
Okay. Last, basically, this is the muffin in a mug. I made a video about that some time ago. And I use a big heaping tablespoon of almond flour, big heaping tablespoon of coconut flour, some olive oil, some heavy cream, a little baking powder, a couple packets of sweetener.
Yeah.
Non-sugar sweetener, of course. Let's see how this compares. This is also about half and half, about half almond, half coconut.
Right. Half and half. When it tastes, we're like, are we?
Now be sure and swirl it in your glass and then give it a sniff.
No.
I couldn't tell a lot of difference between the oven-made almond flour, coconut flour combo and the microwave-made almond flour, coconut flour combo.
It tastes the same, similar.
Then we had the almond flour by itself without any coconut flour.
Right.
This one is.
Right.
And then the Carbquick. So, what was the absolute worst, the one you liked the least?
Well, I like every one of them, but this...
Pure almond flour
is good, but these other ones kind of beat it.
Okay. So, to me, the Carbquick, it's got a certain Carbquick taste that I just don't care about.
Yeah, it has a taste.
Now, with some butter on it, it's better. And if you want to go sugar-free jelly, it's better still. But if you're just tasting the muffin itself, I would rank that number 4 for my taste. In your case, not. All right. The almond flour was good.
Yeah, it was good.
But I agree with you that the coconut flour was better. The almond/coconut, half and half.
Right.
So the advantages are this. Almond flour is the lowest in carbs. If you want to slash your carbs as low as you possibly can, you'd go for the pure almond flour.
Right.
The Carbquick, according to their info, is also very low in carbs. We're not going to test ourselves on this. You test yourself, and you can figure it out for yourself.
Yep.
So, and I don't use Carbquick a lot, but I just thought I'd throw it in. But I think we both agree that when you combine the coconut flour with the almond flour in the recipe, you get the best taste.
Good. Yeah.
It really does. The coconut and the almond enhance each other. And the blueberries are great. You have to use a little sweetener. Obviously, you're not going to use sugar, but something like erythritol, stevia, something that is not going to hopefully raise your blood sugar much at all.
So this is kind of low-carb muffin combo, or what?
Yeah, the low-carb blueberry muffins. So, all the keto people that have been out there saying, we want our rights, we want to eat pancakes, we want to eat muffins, we want to eat waffles. Well, here you go. You can.
You got to sign up.
Obviously, you have to test your... And I've had some people even say that almond flour raises their blood sugar. To me, that's extreme because it has so few net carbs. It's hard to understand. But if it does, then obviously you don't eat it. So, that's the rule. Trust Mike the Meter more than you trust some recipe by these two people.
Yeah.
In any case, though, for most type 2 diabetics, it should not be a problem. Have some eggs, have some bacon or sausage, and a nice cup of coffee and a blueberry muffin, and you've got yourself a great breakfast.
Great breakfast.
So this is Dennis and
Benedicta.
And I'm going to let Benedicta have the honors of telling you what you need to do about this YouTube channel.
Okay, please. If you have not really subscribed, I want you to subscribe to this channel, like it, and comment below how much you love it. And thank you for watching today. God bless you.
Bye-bye.